I've worked the graveyard shift at the Starlight Mall for what feels like an eternity, 6 years to be exact. The place is a relic from the 80s, all faded neon signs, dead potted plants, and the lingering ghost of stale popcorn that clings to everything. My job is pretty straightforward. I sit in a cramped security office, surrounded by 16 monitors, and make sure nobody tries to make off with a pair of overpriced sneakers. It's usually mind-numbingly boring. But last Tuesday, everything changed. It was exactly 3:03 in the morning when camera 4 flickered. That's the one pointing down the long, dim hallway near the old, abandoned Sears. My heart jumped when I saw him. A man was standing there, right under a sputtering fluorescent light. He was tall, unnaturally tall, and he was wearing a suit that looked like it was tailored from wet garbage bags, glistening under the weak light. He wasn't moving. He was just staring directly into the camera lens. My first thought was, trespasser. I checked the motion sensor logs for that corridor. Nothing. Not a single trip. My skin started to prickle. I switched my view to camera 3, which covers the exact same hallway, but from the opposite end. The hallway was completely, utterly empty. I flicked back to camera 4, my hand trembling slightly. He was still there, but he was closer, maybe 10 feet closer to the camera. He hadn't walked. He just was. It was like a jump cut in a cheap horror movie, a glitch in reality itself. My hand fumbled for the radio on my desk. My throat felt like sandpaper. "Identify yourself," I managed to croak out, my voice cracking embarrassingly. The static on the radio was the only reply. On the screen, the man's head tilted back, slowly, unnaturally. Then his mouth started to open. It just kept opening, wider and wider, stretching impossibly until his jaw seemed to unhinge and drop all the way to his chest, revealing a cavern of pure, silent darkness. Suddenly, the monitors didn't just flicker, they mirrored, every single one of them. 16 screens from the parking lot camera to the food court, all switched to the same horrifying image. They were all showing the inside of my security office. My office. And standing right behind my chair, right behind me, was the man in the garbage suit. I felt it then. A freezing, foul breath ghosting across the back of my neck. It smelled like decay and damp concrete. My blood turned to ice. Every instinct screamed at me to turn around, to face whatever was breathing on me. But a deeper, more primal part of my brain screamed louder. Run! I didn't turn. I didn't even look back at the screens. I launched myself out of that chair and bolted for the exit, smashing through the door into the mall's echoing emptiness. I didn't stop running until the sun was coming up. I didn't quit my job. I just never ever went back. Later, I heard from one of the day guys. He said when the morning shift supervisor came in, he found the security office completely empty. The 16 monitors were just showing their usual boring feeds. He said they reviewed the security tapes from my shift. All 16 cameras showed me sitting there, staring at the screens for hours, until I suddenly leapt up and ran out for no reason. The room was empty the whole time. But he did say they found something. On the desk, right next to my half-finished cold cup of coffee, was a single, wet button. It was grimy, streaked with filth, and looked like it had been torn from a suit made of garbage. Thanks for listening to my story. If you have your own creepy experiences, I'd love to hear about them in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more strange tales. Stay safe out there.